Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. I am using the Basics 3D embossing folders, which is an online exclusive. So it's only available online, and there are 3 normal size 3D embossing folders, and 3D means that they're thicker than most. The impressions are quite deep. So you won't find these in any of the catalogues. It's an online exclusive only. So there's 3 patterns. There's this floral one, a hashed one, and a nice polka dot one. The one I'll be showcasing today is this floral one. And the stamp set I chose to use is Marigold Moments with the coordinating dies, and I'm making a Mother's Day card, so I chose this because of this sentiment here. This is the card we're making. It's really clean and simple. This is the inside. The inks I'm using are Mango Melody, Granny Apple Green and Garden Green. This is Stamping Up blending brushes, but I'm going to use one that I already have because it's got the green coloured ink on it. Stamping Up's blending brushes comes in a pack of 3, so you get 3 of these. I'm also going to be using the Heart Pearls and Baker's Twine from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. They come in 5 colours, and I'm going to use the white one. My card base is 5 7/8 by 8 1/4. In metric that will be 14.5 by 21 centimetres and folded in half. 2 pieces of basic white, and these have been both cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, which is 9.5 by 14 centimetres in metric. I'll also need a scrap of basic white. Essentially is half a sheet of an A4 size. I've already mounted my stamps on the stamp apparatus, and I've done it strategically. There are 2 plates in the stamp apparatus, so Marigold Moments is a 2-step stamping method. I've mounted the solid stamps on one side and the detailed stamps on the other. Put them in the hinge and bring in my cardstock. I'll do the leaves first. So I've done the leaves on one side, and because these leaves are so small and I wanted to die cut 2 of them for my card, I'm going to orient the other side of the plate to close from the top. So then I want my leaf stamp to be facing this way. So let's start with this leaf first and stamp it from the top, ink it up again, move it 1 hinge along and stamp again. Clean the stamp, flip the plate over so that it now hinges on the right, ink up the stamps, and you can see this little stamp here. That's the accent piece, and this is the one for the veins of the leaves. So I'm switched inks, and I'm going to ink it up with Garden Green and then stamp inside the leaf. Now I'll use this stamp to highlight the accent piece on here. Grab my trimmer and trim that off. Now I'm going to switch plates, and I'm stamping the solid image side first. Bring a piece of copy paper in, and I'm just going to rub a block over. It's the equivalent of stamping off if you're doing it on the stamp apparatus. And then make sure that that covers the cardstock. Clean the stamps and just dab at it so you don't move the position of the stamp, especially if you're going to make some more. Switch the plate round, ink it up again. I want to stamp directly on top of this solid image with a detailed stamp. Now I need to die cut these images, and so to ensure that the die doesn't move, I'm going to secure it with washi tape. And I'm putting the washi tape on the die itself and outside of the stamped area, so that when it goes through the machine, the pressure of the rollers will compress that and the washi tape, and sometimes it could stick to your image, and you might find that when you try to remove the washi tape, it takes ink off that as well. Now this one, you see this little dip in here, the V shape, so if you marry it up with the V shape there, like so, all else will follow. To create my cutting sandwich, I need platform 1, platform 2, the base plate, platform 3, your cardstock and the dies, and then a second platform 3, and you're ready to run it through the machine. So there are my die cut elements and the baker's twine. Prepare the front of the card. I need to use the embossing folder. Place one of the pieces in the embossing folder and line it up with this line here. Fold that over. Hold on to it tight so it doesn't move. And the embossing sandwich is just the platform 1. Your 3D embossing folder, it doesn't matter which way up it is, whether you have the logo side down or facing up. And then this plate, platform 4, which is a grey plate, and you're ready to run it through the machine. Now there are two sides to the embossed cardstock. This side you can see the lumps and bumps, and this side is the debossed area, so you want to apply the blending brush to the top with the embossed area. So ink up your blender brush and start from the outside working inwards so you don't get any harsh lines. So work from the outside in. Then you want to apply adhesive to the back of this. And I want to glue this at an angle. Put a little bit of glue on the top of the stem here. And this flower goes at the top, and tuck that underneath, like so. And put some glue on the back, round about there. Just going to tuck a little mini glue dot underneath the leaf to make that pop. Put a leaf at the top here. I'm going to tie a bow with the baker's twine, so cross that over like bunny ears, then pull it tight. and just adjust it. I'll leave it there for the moment while I do my label. So I'm going to stamp the sentiment Happy Mother's Day. Stamp it down here. I've trimmed the sentiment down to about 3 inches. Bring in my scissors and I want to cut, say, about 1/4 of an inch in, and from the outside edge I'll cut toward the center like so. Curl it. Grab the big dimensionals, put it on the back, line that up with the edge of the paper, like so. I've put a dollop of glue on the back with the Tombow, and I'm just going to glue it on here and allow it to bond. I won't trim it yet until I know that's secure. We'll wait for that to dry while we do the inside. Bring back my blending brush and I'm just going to add a tad of colour in the bottom left corner, and I'm going to glue this in this corner here. And I'm going to swap ink pads to garden green and stamp the sentiment in the middle. I've just checked and that is properly bonded, so I should just snip that off. And glue this to the inside of the card. Make sure it's the right way up and glue this to the inside, leaving an even border all round. And that's completed. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. All the supplies are listed below this video in the Show More section. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. If you'd like to read more, then hop over to my blog. The link is also below to the actual blog post. If you did like my project, then I'd really appreciate it if you gave me a thumbs up. So this is the embossing folders, are the online exclusives. Thanks for watching. Bye.